Hey friends, so we're out here today just outside Tokyo, just outside Yokohama at the Snoopy Museum. We're at a place called Grandberry Park. It looks like it's essentially a really big shopping centre. We've come all the way through the shopping centre from the subway station, the tube station, train station, subway station, it's kind of all of the above really. And we are like right outside the other side of it. Basically, to find it, follow the Snoopies from the train station. That's how we found it. We come out because we're going to take you on a little bit of a tour of the Snoopy Museum here. It says Snoopy Museum Tokyo, so we came from Yokohama because we were kind of in the area. We got the museum, and then we've got a Peanuts cafe just over my other shoulder. Very cool. I'll put down in the bottom corner how much tickets were so you can see whether you would like to spend this money or not. And yeah, we're just going to take you on a tour and show you what Snoopy's all about, basically. So if you do enjoy the video throughout, give thumbs up, do appreciate it. It really does help us out a lot. And it'd be great if you could hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified when we post all new videos. I think it's into the doghouse. Let's go. So you got the Peanuts Cafe here. Whole bunch of like limited food items. The actual like main dishes per se don't look too themed, but you've got like some sweet dishes, the milkshakes and things like that. Charlie Brown milkshake, baked marshmallow latte. You've got the Snoopy caramel nuts milk tea, the chomp chomp dessert there. So yeah, I'm sure we'll see a couple of things on the menu to have. So this is like Snoopy's house, and then we've got these cool murals on the wall as well. It's quite cute in here. Woodstock floating around with Snoopy. And all of the chairs have Peanuts characters on the back of them. Even the napkins are themed. It's a comic strip.
Is the bathroom themed?
The bathroom is sadly not themed though. What's Becky going to have here? What's Becky going to have? She's going to have the Charlie Brown milkshake. I think you press that order button. Please choose. Okay. What am I going to have then? I think I'll just show, like, flicking through the menu. It's tricky to see because
we could get a kids' plate because that looks quite cute.
We could get a kids' plate to share. Should we get that?
Can do.
Yeah. Bit of everything then. What do you mean? Oh, children under 12 years old. Okay, we're not allowed to get that. That's unfortunate. Well, then we won't get any food. Well, that rules out us getting food, basically, is what we're saying. That looks cool. Chomp chomp plate. It's like a dessert. It's got grapes on there, popcorn, some bones. I'm tempted by this. Oh, this is for the 75th anniversary. Oh, we got a Halloween menu as well. So, okay. Holiday picnic box with soup. 2,530 yen.
It's quite expensive in here, isn't it?
It is quite expensive, yeah.
It also is like quite a posh shopping centre.
Mm-hmm. You don't like corn dog nugs, do you? We ordered. Becky went for the Charlie Brown one. and I went for the commemorative one at the moment, or the limited edition one, nut flavoured. And then we also went for Woodstock's Nest as well. This looks quite nice. I don't think it's... We were saying it's fairly expensive. I don't think it's that expensive, but I don't think it's necessarily as cheap as we've been expecting. And now we head into the Snoopy Museum. Straight through Snoopy's mouth. Okay, here we go. Tickets are 1,800 yen. In advance, 2,000 on the door, 800 or 1,000 if you're a student, or 4 years old is 400 or 600. Ooh. Ah, it's like Build-A-Bear, but for Snoops. So the first exhibition we come to is the Snoopy Wonder Room, based on the concept of a museum for everyone, created by everyone. The Snoopy Wonder Room is an unprecedented space displaying countless Snoopy products from the past and present, partly donated by fans. Oh my goodness.
It's so bright.
Wow.
Do you know what's interesting about Snoopy? Is that unlike Mickey, his face hasn't changed at all. Because Mickey's had like loads of different faces over the years.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, look at all like the McDonald's toys down the back there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so that's from a whole collection there. So they're all in like one series of McDonald's toys. Well, this is... Hey?
I just want to pick them up.
You do want to pick them up, it's really difficult. Loads of crockery, cups, glasses, little plates and saucers as well. Ah, it's so fascinating. They had this in the cafe. And we've got countless teddies and stuffed toys.
This one looks really old.
He does. It's so cute as well that it says partly donated by fans. So fans of Snoopy have donated their cuddly toys or donated their little trinkets to the museum so they can like be preserved forever. I'm surprised some of this is not behind glass. It's really incredible that it's not. You've even got a Snoopy doghouse, which I'm assuming is for an actual dog. It's so fascinating. The giant Snoopy there. The only thing I ever wanted to be was a cartoonist. Charles M. Schulz. So I'm not actually allowed to take photos or videos in the history museum aspect there. We are in this section. Peanuts, early strips, America, Nap, unique translator, Santa Rosa. So Peanuts is a comic for newspapers that Charles M. Schulz drew all by himself, nearly without rest, continually from 1950 to 2000. In the early strips, the children had disproportionately large heads, and Snoopy was a puppy walking on all fours. It has a different kind of appearance from Peanuts that is widely known today. Peanuts depicts everyday life that could be anywhere in America, with events in each of the seasons through the human interaction of the children. Snoopy loved naps, be it on top of the doghouse roof next to Charlie Brown, wrapped in Linus's blanket, or alongside the notes of Schroeder's piano. The several dozen characters that appear in Peanuts are all unique. They have personalities that could be any of us or anybody around us, making the storylines filled with their exchanges feel close and personal. The wonderful translations by poet Shintaro Tanikawa allow the characters and stories to seem even more close to us. He has continued to translate for approximately 50 years, ever since the first publication in Japan. And then finally, Santa Rosa is the city in which Charles M. Schulz lived and drew his comics daily. The Charles M. Schulz Museum stands here and continues to pass on the fascinating world of Peanuts. And then we've got a couple of Peanuts strips just here, some of the early days ones, 1952. So these ones are from 1973. Feel free to pause any of these to read the comic if you'd like. (1957), 1964, and then 1986. Top one is from 1970, this one's from 1973. And then this final one here is from 1968. And we've also got little models around here. One of Snoopy, little Nodder Snoopy from 1976. And then we've got a doll of Charlie Brown from 1958. Another doll of Snoopy. A radio? That doesn't look like a radio. That's from 1978. Another Nodder from 76. And a gourmet guide. Throughout his life on the comic strip page, Snoopy knew he was destined for great things, and at times chafed at being relegated to the simple existence of doghood. No wonder he aspires to greatness atop his doghouse, strafing the skies as a flying ace, typing out the next War and Peace, or defending the high desert at Fort Zindanov. That is not to say that Snoopy, despite his variety of disguises and adventures, has abandoned being a dog. It's something he's very proud of, especially when it comes to being a beagle. Schulz makes sure to remind us that he is in fact a dog. Then we get into a bit about the characters that are featured. So, firstly we're starting with Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown tries his best at everything he does, but strikes out all the same. He manages the world's worst Little League team, forever battles the kite-eating tree, and just can't muster the courage to talk to the little red-haired girl. However, despite his own troubles, he's always a good big brother, a devoted dog owner, and all-around good old Charlie Brown. This is from 1957, and then 1968. Linus. Linus is the smartest kid on the block. Though he would never admit it, he is surprisingly well-adjusted for being Lucy's little brother, and he is the voice of reason and philosophy around the neighborhood. He's Charlie Brown's best friend and second baseman. Linus can always be found in a pumpkin patch on Halloween night, waiting for the great pumpkin, keep him warm with his ever-present blanket. And then we've got Lucy. Lucy is known around the neighbourhood for being crabby and bossy, whether it's happily listing all of Charlie Brown's faults or forcing her brother Linus to give up his blanket. Lucy always believes she is right. Lucy loves a good practical joke, hates being kissed by dog lips, and only Schroeder's music can tame her. And then we've got Sally. Sally Brown is Charlie Brown's little sister and believes the world owes her an explanation. Why is her big brother such a loser? Why does she have to go to school? Why doesn't Linus, her sweet Babu, love her? And what's the capital of Venezuela? Sally is always on the hunt for answers, and when she doesn't get them, she circles back to her original philosophy. Who cares? Schroeder is devoted to his music, always improving his craft and aspiring to the greatness of his idol, Beethoven. Schroeder has fans of his own though, and Snoopy and Lucy both like to perch at his piano. When he's not playing a sonata at his toy keyboard, he's out behind home plate, calling the game as Charlie Brown's a reliable catcher. And then we've got Woodstock. Woodstock is Snoopy's best friend and confidant. He is sometimes Snoopy's eager secretary, sometimes a root beer drinking buddy on New Year's Eve. In any scenario, Woodstock is never far from Snoopy's side. Snoopy is the only one who understands Woodstock's tweeting, though Woodstock's fluttering doesn't get him very far. He's lucky enough to always land on Snoopy's doghouse. Franklin met Charlie Brown on the beach, where the two became fast friends. Franklin is a frequent visitor to Charlie Brown's neighborhood, where the weirdness of that beagle, the girl with the psychiatric booth, and the kid with the blanket is never lost on him. Franklin often sits by the wall with Charlie Brown, where the two boys talk about their grandfathers. Peppermint Patty. Peppermint Patty lives in a different neighborhood from her pal Charlie Chuck Brown. Peppermint Patty's school days are dominated by D-minuses, but after school she's all aces on the ball field. Baseball, football, and skating are just a few of the sports at which she excels, and this is just one of the reasons her father always calls her his rare gem. Marcy is Peppermint Patty's best friend and her complete opposite. Where Peppermint Patty struggles with D-minuses in class, Marcy is a whiz, and while Peppermint Patty hits home runs, Marcy can't tell the difference between baseball and hockey. Marcy is fond of Charlie Brown, whom she calls Charles. and she will never leave Peppermint Patty's side, whom she calls Sir. At times, she dresses up as a French lass and stirs Snoopy's emotions. Pigpen. If there's a pile of dirt around, Pigpen will be in it. He appreciates the finer things in life, like soot, dust, mud, and grime. Despite his outward appearance, Pigpen always carries himself with dignity, knowing full well that he has affixed to him the dust of countless ages. Character names. No, not one of the characters in Peanuts is modelled after anyone I know, but the names mostly come from friends. Charlie Brown, for instance, is named after a man I worked with at an art school in Minneapolis. A man named Linus and a woman named Frida worked with us too. Those names went into the strips. Schroeder was named after a boy I used to caddy with when I was about 17, but it's just their names I use. I would never take anyone's character. Rerun, the youngest member of the Van Pelt family. Rerun spends a lot of time riding on the back of his mother's bicycle, hoping to avoid falling in potholes and being flattened by semi-trucks. Rerun takes after his brother Linus, and is, in retrospect, but doesn't need a security blanket. His real passion is art, and he has been known to draw underground comics in kindergarten. (1954) and then down to 1955. And finally 1956. So we're talking about the Charles M. Schulz Museum and Charles Schulz himself. Taking flight approximately 10 hours from Japan to San Francisco. Take an hour drive north and you'll be in Santa Rosa, location where Charles Schulz lived for over 40 years. Santa Rosa is a sacred place for Peanuts fans. First, there is Charles M. Schulz Museum and Research Center, which owns the largest collection of original Peanuts artwork in the world. Additionally, there is Schulz Studio and the Ice Arena, which are surrounded by many statues of the Peanuts gang, the airport that bears Schulz's name, and the cemetery where he rests. So this is all of the things around the area, around Santa Rosa. This is a statue of Charlie Brown in front of the Museum and Research Centre. And now we're going to go and continue this way. Wow. That was really cool. We've got this fantastically giant model of Snoopy sleeping here, taking one of his well-deserved naps. And then we got him in a few unique poses as well. So now we're talking about how he used holidays as parts of the comic, and he integrated the holidays.
Colours he used in that. These are like the Halloween colours.
Okay, so yeah, this is
I think.
what he used in part of the comic book strips, just to like simple colours, just 3 or 4 colours. So I'm wondering if this section here changes out, depending on the season. Becky and I were just saying. So at the moment we're here during the Halloween season. So we've got a Halloween comic panel, and this is like tacked onto the wall with a dangling banner there. Oh, pencil on paper, original drawings. Thanksgiving. Okay, so no, they're actually just going through all of the holidays right now, all of the seasons. Because we've got Halloween, we've got Thanksgiving here as well. Snoopy astronaut balloon produced and used for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Millennium Snoopy balloon produced and used for the Thanksgiving Day Parade. And Jean and Charles Schultz preparing their Thanksgiving dinner. So I'm not going to read all of these because there's quite a lot of information in here. But this room is basically just talking about how Charles Schultz used holidays as an integral part of his comics. Such an iconic image, that one.
He's the Easter Bunny.
He's the Easter Bunny.
He's the Easter Beagle.
Yes. And then Christmas is coming up here. And obviously Christmas is such an integral part. The holidays are so big, right? Woodstock here, thinking of the holidays with his little candle wreath, and then wishing everybody a Merry Christmas.
Christmas card.
Hmm. Oh, we've got pencil on paper drawings of Snoopy as the Easter Bunny. And what do you suppose is inside? Oh. Valentine's Day. So there's a description for each of the holidays and what he would do to integrate that into the comics.
When you're seeing these, do you think they're snippets of the whole comic, or is this the whole thing?
Not 100%. I imagine it's the whole thing.
Some of it doesn't make sense, like this one.
Which one? Yeah, maybe it is a snippet then.
Like these are strips, aren't they? These
Yeah.
They're from like newspapers or whatever.
Yeah. We've actually got the coloured version, and then we've got the black and white version next to it blown up. Oh my goodness. We can take a picture in the doghouse. Everybody resting on Snoopy's house there. And then Snoopy resting on his own house. And then his house. You've also got gashapon pods here, and you've got button making that you can do as well. So I think you get the gashapon pod, and then you make it into a button. It's 500 yen for one, which is about £2.50. I didn't say anything. Boo! I'm a scary dog. Barf, 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 barf. Then we got Brown Store, the final part. Oh, and it's a very big store. Sectioned off, so you've got little dangly hanging things, books and art. Snoopy and Woodstock. Pens and stationery, crockery and cutlery. Ah, look, it's a little chopstick holder. Snoopy in his Halloween costume. I think that's a cookie jar there. Towels, tea towels, clothes, bags, plushy teddies. Oh, you name it. they definitely have it, including headbands that have got Snoopy ears on them. Let's see what we're gonna buy. Probably a few things. I like this bag, but it's about £80, so probably won't be buying that. Becky's found something. What's she got? What's she got? Oh, it's the, is it the Halloween one?
Snoopy.
Snoopy.
Scary. That's cute.
I wonder how much stuff Becky's going to let me buy in here. We just finished the Snoopy Museum in Tokyo, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was good.
There was a lot of interesting facts. Went through a little blurb about all of the characters.
There wasn't that much interactivity. Definitely not for kids or...
Although there was the part where you can build your own Snoopy doll, which we didn't get to see because obviously we're not children.
And I also think it probably wasn't on.
Maybe it wasn't on. There was nobody in there.
There wasn't anybody.
There was nobody in there, and it's a school day. The middle of the day, so it's not really. This isn't really the place you'd be coming on a school trip necessarily. But it was a really enjoyable experience. I think they laid it out very well. That light and song show halfway through was really fun.
That was
a surprise. And he's just like running around and like sliding. It was so funny. It was really well done.
But I think I'm really glad that we came later in the day because we started about 3:30.
Yeah.
And it was basically dead in there, and I imagine it's heaving in the mornings.
I'd agree. I think it gave us the opportunity to read things in a bit more detail.
Didn't feel rushed.
It didn't feel rushed. We could have spent probably another hour in there, like fully reading everything.
So if you read everything, it'll probably take you 3 hours or so. But if you're happy to just have a little
mooch, look at the pictures.
Probably you only need an hour.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it is quite far away.
Yeah, it is.
It takes about an hour from Yokohama.
It's difficult because it used to be in Roppongi.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of Tokyo.
Because that's a very busy area, isn't it? It's probably, the rooms and stuff were probably really small, and it was just getting packed. So
yeah, and these guys have just had a refurb, like within the past 6 months or so. They've had a refurb.
It's only been open since 2019.
Yeah, but you can tell like it's looking fresh in there. They've done a good layout of like the holiday section I liked in particular, because it's like how did Charles Schulz integrate the holidays into the comic strips. That was really cool, and basically just explaining how it's kind of the comics are just everyday life.
Yeah, basically. And it also related back to his life as well, didn't it? Which was quite good.
Yeah, it was really good, really enjoyable experience. Not too expensive either, it's like £10 per person. But like Becky said, it's just a bit far away, which makes it a little bit awkward. You can come here on a day trip from either Tokyo. You don't even need a day trip really, just a few hours from Tokyo or from Yokohama. If you're a big Snoopy fan,
you can't miss it. Really.
You can't really miss it, no. And
the cafe's nice as well.
Yeah,
I recommend that. Like the food, although we didn't really order anything themed, or there wasn't anything themed for a main, it was fresh and nice.
Yeah,
the milkshakes were really nice.
That is the caveat. There's nothing themed for like savoury main dishes.
Yeah, but there is a Shaun the Sheep restaurant just around the corner, which does have
Shaun.
It does have themed mains, doesn't it?
Shaun the Sheep. If you like Shaun the Sheep and Aardman animation, then also come out here, I guess.
I think there was it was a whole village. It said a Shaun the Sheep village, but I don't know what that means.
Crikey, that's weird.
But yeah, I mean, if you're a fan of both, you could do 2 in one go.
How does Shaun the Sheep take off in like 10 years? You know.
Also in Japan.
In Japan, yeah.
Because it's cute, isn't it?
Well, that's
all the little cutie patooties.
That's one thing they were explaining in the Snoopy Museum, was the way it's really taken off here is because it's kind of like the kawaii cuteness, but also they had like a dedicated translator. The guy has been translating it for like 50 years alongside Charles Schulz. So I'm assuming they probably collaborated.
All the comic strips in there were in English.
They were all in English,
which
because they're like
really
the originals, I guess.
Yeah.
But when they come here, they probably translate them. But yeah, absolutely recommend coming out here. If you've got spare few hours, it's a lot of fun. It's not too expensive to come on the train, though it does take time. So yeah, but it's a big shopping centre, so
Yeah,
you know
if you had a spare day, you could spend a whole day here.
yeah, if you
easily.
want to come out and go to the shopping centre, then
Yeah.
you know, crack on with that. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that and you enjoyed going around the Snoopy Museum in Tokyo with us, even though we're not technically, I suppose, in Tokyo. We're in the greater Tokyo area, let's say. We enjoyed going around. I really enjoyed that,
Yeah.
so hopefully you did as well. If you did, give thumbs up to appreciate it. It really helps us out a lot. It'd be great if you could hit the subscribe button and bell icon to be notified when we post all new videos. We'll see you on the other side. Thanks.